back yet again. Uh, yeah, I saw something recently that had me thinking, in the context of right wing ideology sweeping through the world, especially in Europe and in other, well, so-called previously former European colonies, like South Africa, for example. You see in America, you see this, cropping up of right-wing narratives, trying to bring back the good old days. Sometimes in South Africa, when I look at, some of the movements, your Orania, AfriForum, Freedom Front Plus, Solidarity, and all these right-leaning organizations, I get a sense that people are nostalgic about apartheid. They miss the good old days when, the world was, because now, you have to understand, for right wingers and white nationalists, the world is upside down right now, and what needs to happen is we need to get the proper hierarchy back with the white man at the top, the white male at the top. And the ascendancy of Donald Trump represents that idea for a lot of these fanaticals. You know, Obviously, the reality, the geopolitical reality is that the American empire is crumbling. So, and they just keep making all the erroneous decisions that are going to accelerate that process. But it's an interesting time politically in the world, and I saw the Trump's presidential inauguration, President of the United States of America, as we speak, inaugurated, I think, like 2 or 3 days ago, something like that. Yeah, Donald Trump. Um, that is who they voted for. And then Elon Musk stands behind the podium and then does that salute, the Nazi salute. Um, of course, there's the thing that fascinated me the most around this was the the conversation that ensued after Elon Musk did that gesture. And I think that guy did it deliberately because he knew that people will be triggered. They'll talk about it. you know. So I found it quite fascinating. And that's what fascinated me the most was the conversation after that, where you had, all these defenders of Elon Musk saying, no, it's not what you think. You guys are jumping to conclusion. Oh, that's a very thin, argument and so on and all of that. But yeah, I looked at that clip a number of times, né? I know. And Elon knows what he's doing there. He knows what he's doing. He knows who he's talking to with that one. You know, uh, it, it, it couldn't be more obvious, But what really fascinates me is how white supremacists gaslight people, And that's why I'm not necessarily reacting to this, what Elon did, or whether he should have done it or not. I really don't care what racists think and do, I'm more concerned about what we're doing as Africans to, safeguard ourselves against the insatiable appetites and interests of these people. But that was very interesting how now it became a debate. Now, in America, they have what they call the Anti-Defamation League. These are people who call you out on anti-Semitism all day. They don't let anyone even cough at the wrong time, as it relates to, things of Israel and the Jews and all of that. But on this one, they were like, no, that's not a Nazi salute. They were like, you misunderstood the guy. That was just an awkward gesture. They said, what? An awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm. I mean, people have had their reputations ruined by the Anti-Defamation League for less, for less. But yeah, this guy, does the Nazi salute. So, we're going to be gaslit a lot. Um, and, gaslighting, of course, it's psychological manipulation, which can manifest in different ways. But hi, Harry Hartman, welcome. Uh, gaslighting is us seeing that Elon Musk did the Nazi salute and us being told he didn't do the Nazi salute. That's the gaslighting we're going to start seeing. And they love doing this, the white supremacists. They come through and then, you know, they do something outrageous and racist, and then they're waiting to see. But they do something always that will give them plausible deniability. So they can always say, no, but it's not what you think. They love doing that. And I think it's a distraction. It's to waste your time and have you involved in these debates. You know what I mean? Aware, the FW King, welcome. Harry Edman, welcome. Yeah, Elon Musk, man. That was funny. What was funny for me, of course, as I'm saying, not that what he did. I mean, it's obvious. The people who he signaled to got the message. All the right-wing groups in America, they came out and said, we see you, Elon, we see you. All the right-wingers, all the white supremacists came out and said, salute, my guy. We get it. So, yeah, how much should I donate? Hey, my brother, I haven't actually thought about that. And reason being, I'm still building the channel pretty much. I'm trying to give you the kind of quality that when I look, I'll say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it makes sense for people to be giving financial resources. At the moment, I think, a like and subscribe will suffice for now. But also because I have to rebrand, we're going to change the name Ubuntu Awakening and the logo and everything. But thank you for offering, to donate. I will let you know pretty soon how, that's going to work once I'm at least able to set everything in order for the year. Yeah, last year, I was way too inconsistent with the content. So I'm trying to think what would be the most efficient way for me to at least give you something, once a week at the very least. But it has to be more regular than that because the algorithm, man, is going to draw me out. But anyway, and again, it's not lost on me that Elon Musk, of course, comes from South Africa, grew up in South Africa at some point in his life. Guy, I've said in one of my previous videos, I don't know why South Africans like to claim that guy, especially black South Africans. That guy never really ever saw himself as a South African, or, he never really identified with South Africa like that. I've seen in a few interviews where he's asked about South Africa, he will say one line or two lines, but nothing ever really substantial, It's just, yeah, I had a traumatic upbringing in South Africa and all of that. And that's as much as you're going to hear on South Africa. So, yeah, man, Elon never really identified with South Africa, but you do see that his leanings towards right-wing politics wherever he goes. I mean, he went to America and he was with the right-wing people. He went to Germany, he supports the right-wingers. So it's clear his position, this guy. So, that he would be signaling to the white supremacists. I don't think this is controversial at all. For me, it just makes sense. Elon Musk, I'm sure when the Freedom Front Plus, hi, Tato Khadebe, welcome. Welcome. We're just discussing this Elon Musk, situation that happened at the U.S. presidential inauguration. So, I mean, as far as I can tell, and just from observing how Elon Musk commented on social issues and so on, it pretty much seems either to be a Nazi, a white supremacist, a right winger, uh, or at the very least, a Nazi sympathizer or something like that. But yeah, I'm not surprised. But I think about this thing and like white supremacy and how it's defining itself. Oh, hold on a second. I'm just sweating so much. Just a second. Oof, so hot in here. This year I definitely need to get me a fan. But yeah, Elon Musk, man. Elon Musk, I think those who are still confused about the guy's positions, it's pretty clear to me. I think his upbringing under apartheid South Africa, uh, you know, really influenced the guy. And that's why you will always see him with right wingers wherever he goes, in Europe, wherever. His buddies are the right wingers. So now Africans, there's something that really worries me, and I think it's related to this idea of those of us who will go and support right wingers, and white supremacists and racists. It's Tato Hadebe, where are you? Oh, in Durban, based in Durban. Where are you? So, you know, it's so interesting. Um, and it's related to this idea that, you have this red pill space, manosphere, and all this stuff. And you have guys there who come through and they support white supremacy, seemingly. Shout out to Gauteng Wipaton. Shout out. By the way, I'm originally from Limpopo, but currently in Durban. But yeah, as I'm saying, Africans, I know religion is a sensitive thing for you, but there is an issue. I call it the political problem of religion in Africa. And sometimes our religious beliefs that we inherited, by the way, from invaders, Islam, Christianity, and so on, often that you'll find religious ideas that conflict with your social and political positionality in the world, you know? So I'll give you an example. Um, I remember the time, uh, you know, and it's also talking to this whole Palestine Israel situation and the position that many people have taken on it. And, I mean, for me, when I observe the sort of um, the state of Israel in the Middle East and its position, I can't differentiate it from apartheid South Africa, pretty much, And we know that apartheid South Africa had very close ties with the state of Israel. So, for me, there's the same people, same spirit, same idea. And so for me, I remember a while back when Unaledi Pando went berserk when there was a suggestion that uh, Israel must come onto the African Union as an observer. And Naledi Pando went berserk. She was like, never gonna happen. Otherwise, we as South Africa are gonna pull out of the AU immediately. And I was with that. I was with that whole thing and I know that a lot of this is motivated by this religious thing we have in our minds. Because when you think about that state of Israel, the Jews, you think, oh, God's chosen people. And then, yeah, I mean, why wouldn't Africans want God's chosen people at the AU? But that, my friends, unfortunately, is geopolitically erroneous. I don't care, look, what you believe one way or the other. Your faith, whatever, is personal thing for you. I just start to have a problem when you use that to inform, your political positionality. Because we almost had Israel come into the AU as an observer. I wonder what business they have observing at the African Union, you know. But yeah, that's something that worries me, that we're gonna end up making severely erroneous geopolitical decisions and moves because of this religion thing. I mean, I've seen a video doing the rounds now where they're showing Donald Trump was talking about Jesus, and I'm like, oh, Taki, this is how he's gonna get them through Jesus. Oh man, you know what I mean? So I Africans, I'm just saying, look, one way or the other, I really couldn't care what you believe in, but I see we need to be careful of how this our religious framework might make us, do politically erroneous things or analyze things incorrectly because of your religious mindset. You know, I mean, I saw even some prominent politicians in South Africa saying they support Israel, and all of that. And I know, they largely of a Christian persuasion. So, for the Christians, those are Israel, the Holy Land, and God's chosen people, and all that. Some of us who look at it through a geopolitical lens see it otherwise. We don't see the children of God there. We we see colonialists, settlers, same story throughout history that happened in Africa and everywhere else where black and brown people are found. So yeah, man, I don't know this religion thing, man. We need to think about that, Africans. It's okay. You can believe, your what you believe in. It's cool, but I think when it comes to politics, we must think differently about this thing. We must look at geopolitics and what's unfolding, and not, oh, but these are God's chosen people. That's very dangerous, and that's why white supremacy is a problem. That's very dangerous because in your mind, if your thinking is already these are God's chosen people, you're already thinking they're on the right side of things. You know, on the right side of things because they're God's chosen people, God's direct descendants. And you wouldn't want to go against God, would you? So no, hey, that is a problem. Um, that there's a lot going on in our heads as it relates to how we think about politics as African people. And it worries me, this religious element, which I see is big in the white supremacy circles. And that's how they get a lot of our people. Because our people love Jesus. Oh, our people love Jesus. So you find a way to convince them that this is what Jesus wants. And so a similar thing happens in the Muslim world. Like black Muslims, some of them understand politics correctly, but some of them can't understand the sort of the Arab challenge as it relates to African people, because there's a story there to tell too, you know. So, you know, religion, Africans got no problem with what you choose, whatever it is, even if you choose that colonial one. But I absolutely have no respect for for European style religion. I I deliberately undermine it because I know it comes from, and I literally know all the founders of all the different religious ideologies and the different congregations and how they split and all that, and the debates that were had for all these things. So for me, it's like, yeah, sure. It's not like I'm saying it's valid or invalid or anything. It's just, it's things of people. You know what I mean? It's things of people that they debated and agreed upon. So, my fellow Africans, these are just my thoughts. I think just beware of being gaslit. You're gonna see a lot of this. in South Africa, we're going to see a lot of this type of thing where racists want to go back to the good old days where they could be openly racist without anyone calling them to order. Ronaldo Hos, former member of the DA, found out found out that in South Africa we are still a long way to go. It's not like the United States of America, where the fascists and the racists seem to be getting bolder and more emboldened. It's kind of different in South Africa, and Ronaldo Hos and others like him have found out that here we ain't having it. Yeah, no, yeah, you won't do it like that so easily. You're not gonna normalize racial slurs and all this stuff. Not here. I think here at least we are still a bit of a distance away from a Donald Trump situation. But pay attention, Africans. Obviously, historically, whites have always controlled the economy. And in 94, they didn't necessarily give us control of that. They gave us some semblance of participation. Anyway, some of us. But now you see they have decided they are going to merge with the ANC and eat it from the inside out, consume it, and become obese from it, from their consumption of the ANC. That is their hope, pretty much, And I wonder what's gonna happen when right wingers have the full apparatus of the state under their control, and they have business and industry. I hate to be a black person in South Africa then, you know what I mean? But anyway, Africans, um, you shouldn't think that the struggle is over. Oh no. The world keeps changing, things keep shifting, different interests moving here and there. So yeah, we are going to see more of these kind of things that racists and white supremacists are gonna do, and then they're gonna come back and say, that's not what that is. You are reading too much into it, just like they're doing with Elon Musk. So I was quite amused by the discourse that took place after Elon Musk did that weird weird Nazi salute, the discourse that happened. But I was not surprised. This is the pattern that is used, and the idea is to testing the water, to see what he can really get away. I can kind of get away with this thing. So every now and then he can signal to his white supremacist friends there in whatever codes they have that I know, don't worry, guys, we got this. We're gonna make America great again, And then in South Africa, I'm sure they would like to make South Africa great again. Take it to the good old apartheid days where the order was proper, and the world made sense, from the perspective of right-wingers and white supremacists. Anyway, tell me what you think. Because I've said quite a bit, and I've mentioned religion, I've spoken about Elon Musk, and the boldness, the emboldenedness of white supremacists and racists now. We're going to see a lot of it. They're not just going to come out and just be bold, all at once, like crazy like that, obviously. They're going to do stuff like this, these kinds of antics, do a little here, say a little crazy thing here and see how you respond. And then obviously what's going to happen is those of us who are clear-thinking African people are going to absolutely refuse to make racism comfortable. But you have those among us who will play apologetics for white supremacy, as they always do. But yeah, it's an interesting time. The ANC is no longer a hegemon in the political arena, and the DA has merged with the ANC with the intent of eating it from the inside and becoming obese, bloated. The DA is going to become a stooler, you know, after consuming the ANC, you know. Yeah, that's my theory about it. I think that's part of their strategy. We'll just consume this dying ANC, and then we shall become umga. Hey, my fate. One love. Let me leave you. I think the next video I do has to be about this rebranding, so that I get that out of the way, and then we can start thinking about how we lay out the content for the year. One love, family. Peace.